Your latest news update from Western Mass News.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Glenn Kittle, and here's your latest news update from Western Mass News. 2 Monson residents have been arrested for their involvement in methamphetamine distribution. Police executed a search warrant at the couple's home back in January where they seized methamphetamine, 3 firearms, a replica firearm, and multiple rounds of ammunition. The couple are being charged with a multitude of crimes, including conspiracy to violate drug law and intent to distribute methamphetamine. And the 7-month-old son in a Duxbury family murder has died. Colin Clancy passed away yesterday after his mother attacked him and killed his 2 older siblings. Mother Lindsay Clancy is now facing at least 2 counts of murder as well as other charges. Clancy is currently being treated at a Boston hospital and her arraignment has not yet been scheduled. Protests across the country have been happening following the release of body camera footage capturing the death of Tyree Nichols. Nichols was detained and beat by 5 Memphis officers on January 7th and passed away 3 days later due to complications from the attacks. Protests are flooding the streets in hopes of police reform nationwide.
A mainly dry and very mild forecast as we end the last weekend of January 1st. Alert meteorologist Zach Duham. A couple showers by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, but that's really the only weather maker to talk about, at least for this weekend, with a storm that likely misses after that Monday into Tuesday. I mentioned it, virtually no rain going to fall this weekend, which is the good news for us that want to get outside and enjoy it. We'll be on the mild but breezy side with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Now for next week, this is Futurecast for Thursday. High pressure going to be back to our west in control. So the storm track right now looks to be down or south. So we have the cold for the first time in a while, but we may have a storm track that just doesn't produce snow because the storms are too far south. We'll see how it goes. So near 50 to start. How about 30s by mid to late week? That's with a big cool down in the pattern, but nothing cool about this weekend forecast. 46 to 48. Some sun today with increasing clouds, mild and breezy. The 10-day forecast looks boring. Besides that shower Sunday into Monday, a really boring and dry forecast. Temperatures for highs in the 30s, lows in the teens and 20s. So winter-like, but with the storm track down over south right now, we're not forecasting any snowstorms. If that track moves north, that's when we get our snow chance.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.